are we getting consignment account? Yes. Every time they ask ranging from yes, 5 marks to 8 marks kind of a thing. Okay. Before we start with consignment account, okay, what is consignment? Sending the goods for sale, we call it as which one? Consignment. Who is the owner of the goods? Consignor or consignee? Consignor is the owner, consignee is just an agent. So we prepare a consignment account in the books of consignor, the principal, the owner, to find out what? The profit or loss. Simple rule of debit the expenses, credit the incomes and gains. Listen, what will you debit? To goods sent on which one? Consignment. We send the goods on consignment to cash or bank account. To cash or bank account, all consignor's expenses. Okay, we debit all the expenses spent by which one? Consignor. Then to consignee account. This is for consignee's expenses. Commission, all commission. Okay, we charge consignment account. Then by consignee account, this is for the sales made by the consignee. This is for the sales made by the consignee. If there is an abnormal loss, we transfer the abnormal loss, value the abnormal loss, and transfer the abnormal loss to which account? P&L account. Then we record which one? Closing stock. We record the closing stock. Now, there are different types of commissions. What are the different types of commissions? If we tally this, you will get which one? Net profit or profit to be transferred to P&L account. So far, pay attention. Debit the expenses, credit the incomes. It's more like a trading account. It's more like which account? Trading account. Sometimes the goods may be sent at invoice price. The goods may be sent at what price? Invoice price. Sir, what is invoice price? The consignee should not know the real profit margin. He will demand more commission. To avoid that, we send the goods at what price? Invoice price, selling price. So suppose if goods are sent at invoice price and the abnormal loss will be at invoice price and closing stock will be at what price? Invoice price. If these three things are in invoice price, we have to remove the profit in the opposite side. In ledger, when something is there in the debit side, how to remove it? Credit to remove it. Okay. The profit element alone will be removed. The profit element alone will be removed. Sir, why should you remove? To find out the real profit. See, debit also selling price, credit also selling price. Now, the account will tally or it will not give profit, proper profit. That's why to bring the goods at cost price, we'll record the profit in the opposite side by goods sent on consignment. Which element? The profit element alone we will remove on the opposite side. Same way, against the abnormal loss, you will put which one? Abnormal loss account. We call it as profit or loading. This is also called as which one? Profit, otherwise called as loading. To stock reserve. This is the profit in which stock? Closing stock. Profit in closing stock. As a balancing figure, we get profit or loss. When these three will come? When these three things will come? When the goods are sent at what price? Invoice price. The profit or loading. Profit, otherwise called as which one? Loading alone is removed in the opposite side. Just in the opposite side, we remove the profit or which one? Loading. Shall we? Wait, pardon. Commission. What are the different types of commission paid? Normal commission. Normal commission is paid on, simple, work out the total sales into the percentage. Okay. Next, we call it as overriding commission. Overriding commission is paid for the sales more than the invoice price. Simple. Take the actual selling price minus specified price into the percentage. For example, I tell you to sell the goods at 1,000 rupees per unit. If you sell at 1,000 rupees, you get 2% commission. That is normal commission. If you are selling for more than 1,000, for the extra selling price, you will get extra commission. That is called as which commission? Overriding commission. That's what? Actual selling price minus specified price into the percentage. Next commission is which one? Del creditor commission. This is to compensate bad debt losses. Otherwise, consignee will bear the bad debt losses. If del creditor commission is paid, bad debt losses will be borne by whom? Consignee. Simple. In the consignment account, when bad debts will be recorded? You pay only normal commission, bad debt will be borne by whom? Consignor. You pay del creditor commission, then bad debts will not come as an expense here because it's a loss to be borne by whom? Consignee. ரொம்ப simple. And del creditor commission pay பண்ணா யாரு bad debts பார்த்துப்பா? Consignee will take care of bad debt losses. அது pay பண்ணலைன்னா நம்மளோட expense charge பண்ணுவோம். Okay. So I'll share this working. Like yesterday, I'll share this working. Just to save the time, I'll keep proceeding. Is it okay? Any doubt in it? We debit the expenses, credit the incomes, and of course, closing stock. இதனால இந்த loading remove பண்றீங்க. When the goods are sent at invoice price, to show them at cost price, remove the profit in the opposite side. Against goods sent on the credit side, against the abnormal loss and closing stock on the debit side we remove, we get the profit. Sir, how to calculate commission? It can be which one? Normal commission that is paid on total sales. Overriding commission. What is overriding commission? Actual selling price minus specified price into the percentage that is paid. What is a del creditor commission? Commission paid to compensate for which one? Bad debt losses. ரொம்ப simple sir. Del creditor commission pay பண்ணா expense consignment accountல bad debts வராது. அது pay பண்ணலன்னா நம்ம தான் அந்த expense bear பண்ணணும். The bad debts will come in which account? Consignment account. So, okay. Next, valuation. Valuation, listen. Where abnormal loss can happen? In transit. What do you mean by in transit? On the way. On the way from us to consignee, poor valley accident destroy ayiduchna, that is called as which one? Abnormal loss in transit. How to value the abnormal loss? Take which one? Value of goods and consignor's expenses only. Take the value of goods and which one? Consignor's expenses only. Suppose if it is happening in the godown of consignee, value of the goods and consignor's expenses plus non-selling expenses of which one? Sir, what do you mean by non-selling expenses? Non-selling expenses, otherwise called as non-recurring expenses. Simple, all expenses till they reach the godown. For example, unloading charges, assembling charges, repacking charges, inspection charges, till that is arranged in the godown, whatever is spent, we call it as which one? Non-selling expenses, that can be included. Don't include which one? Selling expenses. Example of selling expenses? Godown rent, stock maintenance, administration charges. Don't include them in valuing which one? Abnormal loss in the godown of consignee. So this is about which one? Valuation of abnormal loss. Romba simple. On the way la tolanju pochuna, include only consignor's expenses. Godown reach aanadukku appuram tolanju pochuna enna pannunga? Value of the goods plus consignor's expenses plus which one? Non-selling expense of consignee, you can take it. Okay. What about normal loss, sir? Normal loss, only what will happen? Quantity will get adjusted. Only quantity will get adjusted. No valuation. Normal loss is avoidable or unavoidable? Unavoidable. So don't value normal loss. Don't value which one? Normal loss. Next, how to value closing stock with consignee? How to value closing stock with consignee? Same principle. What do you mean by same principle? Godownல consignee goods இருக்கும் இல்லையா, அது எப்படி வேல்யூ பண்ணுவீங்க? Value of the goods plus consignor's expenses plus what? Non-selling expense of consignee எடுத்து வேல்யூ பண்ணுங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். So ரொம்ப simple, logical தான் அது. On the way, if the goods are destroyed, what to do? Value of the goods plus what? Consignor's expense only. After reaching the godown, in the consignee's godown, if the goods are destroyed, what to do? All expense of consignor plus what? Non-selling expense of consignee. Don't include which one? Selling expense of expense of consignee. Normal loss, the quantity gets adjusted, no valuation is required. If closing stocks are with consignee, okay, value like this. So this is about which one? This is about which one? Valuation of abnormal loss, stock, etc. That shall we do a problem? This I will share. This I will share. Regular class ne share pannirken. I'll share in the group also, just to save the time. Come to this question. Akbar and Sons of Surat consigned 500 toys to Amar and Sons of Ahmedabad at a cost of how much? 800 rupees. Goods are sent at cost price or invoice price? Okay. 800 rupees cost. Consignor paid 800 freight, insurance 2500. Look at this. During transit, 30 toys were totally damaged. So we have to value them first. Then Amar and Sons took the delivery of the balance and paid how much? 1400 as local taxes. They paid some advance money. Then 400 toys has been sold for 1500 each. Go down rent, how much is given? 3500. Commission how much? 6%. One customer could not pay for how many toys? 10 toys and nothing was recorded. So who will bear the bad losses here? Who will bear the bad losses? Consignor will bear the bad loss. Why? Only normal commission is paid. Del kadar commission pay panla. Now I request you to analyze the stock first. How much of goods sent? 500 units, 500 toys. Lost in transit. Wait, we can copy it later. How many toys? 30 toys lost in accident. So balance, deliver air? 470 deliver air. How much is sold out? 400 toys sold out. 400 toys sold out. Upon balance will be closing stock. Closing stock detail kuduthirukana. Balance is closing stock. What is the closing stock? 70 toys. 70 toys is the closing stock. Wait pannunga. What is the value of the goods sent? 500 into what is the price? 800. 500 into 800. Add consignor's expenses. Add all the consignor's expenses. Who's the consignor? A's expenses. A's expenses, all expenses. How much? 8,000 plus 2,500. 10,500. So wait pannunga. This is the value for evlo ties? For 500 ties. What is the value? 4,10,500. Wait. For valuing loss in transit. For valuing loss in transit. Will he include consignee's expenses? No. In the loss value pandradhukku consignee's expense include பண்ணுவீங்களா? No. So 4,10,500 if it is for 500. What is for 30? 4,10,500 if it is for 500. What is for 30? So eliminate பண்ணீங்கன்னா balance delivered ஓட value கிடைக்கும். எவ்வளவு value கிடைக்குது? Okay. Then add consignees. Which expenses? Non-selling expenses. The non-selling expense எதற்கு consignee? Go down rent இருக்கு, local tax இருக்கு. On delivery he paid the local tax. எவ்வளவு local tax pay பண்ணிருக்கான்? 1400. That is spent before the goods are reaching the godown. So that will be included. 14,100. Will he include the godown rent? No. So this will give us value of toys delivered. Value of 470 toys delivered. Now, if this is that much, closing stock is 470 minus 400 sold out. Balance closing stock 70 oda value enna? Simple. Take it up. 399, 970 divided by, if it is for 470, what is for 7? So two things we valued in this. One is which one? What is lost in transit, and what is the value of the godown in the consignee? Take up this. Any doubt in it? Suppose இதே வந்து loss happened in the godown of consignee ன்னு என்ன பண்ணிருப்பீங்க? We will not value this இங்கே. We will add consignee's expense also, then value that. இங்கே loss happened in transit. Then prepare the consignment account. Goods sent on consignment 4 lakhs. என்ன எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்கோம்? Freight how much? Insurance. Amar and Sons என்னென்ன ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க? லோக்கல் டாக்ஸஸ் எவ்வளவு லோக்கல் டாக்ஸஸ் பே பண்ணிருக்காங்க? 14,100. வேற என்ன பே பண்ணிருக்காங்க? All expenses will come. All advance money will not come. Advance money is not an expense. Go down rent pay பண்ணிருக்காங்க. எவ்வளவு பே பண்ணிருக்காங்க? By Amar and Sons for the sales. எவ்வளவு சேல்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க? How many units are sold? 400 into 1,500. 6 lakhs க்கு சேல் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. For this they are entitled for a commission. Commission எவ்வளவு percentage? 6 lakhs into 6%. Bad debts. Bad debts 10 into 1,500. Why bad debts comes as an expense? We are not paying bill creditor commission. Bad debts will be recorded. Bad debts. Bad debt is nothing but amount recoverable but not recovered. நான் சேல்ஸ் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணும்போது கஸ்டமர் அக்கௌண்ட்ல எவ்வளவு ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிருப்பேன்? 1000 1500, 1500 due from the customer. அது வரலன்னா loss is what? 1500 into 10. Bad debt is based on amount to be recovered from the customer. By abnormal loss, what is abnormal loss? 24,630. By closing stock, we value here no loading removal. Why no loading removal? No profit element. Goods are sent at what price? Cost price. We can prepare consignee account also. Consignment sales is 6 lakhs. By consignment expenses are how much? 68,600. What is the advance money paid by him? What is the advance money paid by him? 80,000. Balance is payable by. What is the closing balance? By balance carried out. 6 lakhs sale பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Think logically 6 lakhs sale பண்ணிருக்காங்க. On the expenses, commission, bad debts recoverable 68,600. Advance or 80,000 pay பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Remaining balance he has to pay. What is the balance? Any doubt in valuation of abnormal loss? $480 toys delivered. In that 400 is sold out. Closing stock 70 oda value வந்து 59,570.
So why are the bad debts included in consignment expenses?
Because who sold the goods? So, to whom only the bad debts will be reimbursed.
We will pay.
That's why it is coming as an expense in consignment account. That's why it's coming as expense in consignment account. Otherwise, whether consignee will be able to recover the 6 lakhs? Whether consignee will be able to recover the 6 lakhs? Consignee sold for how much? 6 lakhs. Will he be able to recover? No. That's why bad debts cannot recover. That's why it is adjusted in consignees.
So we will pay to.
Will not pay, adjust in ledger.
We'll adjust.
It's like you sold for how much? 6 lakhs. In that, this 15,000 is not recoverable. So that's why 68,600 includes 15,000. Otherwise, Amar will not be able to recover how much? 6 lakhs. How much he will not be able to recover? That bad debts get adjusted here. That bad debts get adjusted in the consignees account. May 2022 question, one of the simplest question. It will take only 5 minutes for us to solve. Read it. How much goods are sent? 4 lakhs. Incurred expenditure 48,000. Commission 5% on gross sales plus del credit commission how much? 3%. So here bad debts will not be recorded. Bad debts will not be recorded in which account? Consignment account. Look at, he sold all the goods for how much? 6 lakhs, which means no closing stock, no abnormal loss, no valuation, nothing. He incurred selling expense how much? 8,000. We further informed that only 5,92,000 has been realized. The remaining was irrecoverable, means bad debts. So whether you have to bother about the bad debts, no, we are paying there is a bill cutter commission. Okay, there is a bank charges to be provided. Bank charges to be provided. Then write up consignment account. So whether we have to value anything, maybe in the batch students more lucky. No valuation of abnormal loss, closing stock, no valuation, nothing. All the goods are sold. All the goods are sold. Start. Consignment account, listen to it. To goods sent on consignment, 4 lakhs. Sale பண்ணிருக்காங்க? By consignee account, by A account, he sold for how much? 6 lakhs. Charge all the expenses. அவன் clearing expense spend பண்ணிருக்காங்க, selling expense spend பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Normal commission எவ்வளோ? 6 lakhs into எவ்வளோ percentage? 5%. Del cutter commission 6 lakhs into
3%.
3%.
Consignment க்கு 1st March தான் சார் சொன்னீங்க.
Hmm.
Year closes on 31st December.
Okay.
அந்த
Doesn't matter. இங்க depreciation இந்த மாதிரி போட்டு தான் இந்த time fraction எல்லாம் பார்க்கணும்.
மந்த்ஸ்க்கு கரெக்டா
Doesn't matter. And wait பண்ணுங்க. இங்க commission normal commission எவ்வளோங்க? 30,000. Del cutter commission எவ்வளோ? 18,000. What about the bad debt loss? Will it come in consignment account? Bad debt loss will not come in which account? Consignment account. And there is a clearing charges also. The clearing charges 1,040 you have to provide. No abnormal loss, no closing stock value, nothing. Tally this, you get the profit. அவ்வளவுதான். Then you have to prepare which account? AS account. AS account prepare பண்ணீங்கன்னா to consignment account for the sale 6 lakhs. All these things will come in the credit side. By consignment account for which one? And the clearing charges, selling commission, del cutter commission எல்லாம் balance he has to pay. How much he has to pay? 5,32,000 he has to pay. Who has to pay? Consignee has to pay. That's it. So what is the difference between last question and this question? Del cutter commission is paid. Bad debts are not recorded in which account? Consignment. Take up this. Consignors expense எவ்வளோ இருக்குங்க? அதுவும் வரும். ஏன் நான் போடல? To cash or bank. What is the amount?
48,000.
Answer is correct. After completing this, read the next question. Read the next question, understand what is missing, then we'll work on. Goods sent கொடுத்திருக்காங்களா value? Goods sent, value of goods sent is not given. You have to find out what is the value of goods sent. Try பண்ணுங்க. Think பண்ணுங்க. Goods sent think பண்ணுங்க.
Sent 2 lakh.
Goods sent on consignment. Any answer? 2 lakh இல்ல. Think பண்ணுங்க. No. ஏன் அவ்வளவு திங்க் பண்ணீங்கன்னு தெரியல. What is the abnormal loss given? That is 10% of goods at invoice price கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. 10% of the goods at what price? Invoice price, which is என்ன கொடுத்திருக்காங்க? 18,000? If 18,750 is 10%, 10% of the goods are 18,750 na, அப்ப எவ்வளவு goods அனுப்பிச்சிருப்பாங்க?
1,80,000.
Goods sent would have been, if 18,750 is like 10%, what is full value? 1,87,500. This is the which price? Invoice price. Invoice price of the goods sent. Invoice price of the goods sent. Pay attention. Invoice price of the goods sent how much? 1,87,500. Wait பண்ணுங்க. If cost is 100, if cost is 100 rupees, what is the loading? Profit. Eவ்வளவு cost plus என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கான் பாருங்க. 125% of cost. 125% of cost and அர்த்தம். Profit they added 25. Invoice price will be equal to how much? 125 அர்த்தம். Okay. So this is the invoice price of the goods sent. Invoice price of the goods sent. So loading or profit will be 1,87,500 into 25 by 125. This is on which one? Goods sent. This is required for removing the profit. In the first learnment only, goods are set at invoice price. We will remove the loading in the opposite side. For that, this is required. Then, what is the abnormal loss? What is the abnormal loss at invoice price? 18,715. Add proportionate expense of consignor. What is the expense of consignor? 15,000. Selling expenses should not be included. So 15,000 like 10%. என்ன இருக்கும் 1,005. This will give us total so abnormal loss at invoice price is nothing but 10% of the goods sent, given in the question itself. What is missing then? Wait பண்ணுங்க. Goods sent 100% na abnormal loss எவ்வளோ 10% na then goods sold out is given in the question 75% na balance will be closing stock. What is the closing stock? 15% is closing stock. இந்த 100% of the goods ஓட வேல்யூ தெரியும் நம்மளுக்கு. இப்போதான் ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணிருக்கோம். 1,87,500 ஆனா 15% எவ்வளோ? 1,87,500 into 15%. Here values are not given in units, values are given in which one? Percentages. Add proportionate expenses. எவ்வளோ expenses? 15,000 into 15%. எவ்வளோ வருங்க 15,000 into 15%, 2250. This will give us total value of closing stock. Any doubt in it? We sent 100%, abnormal loss இல்லை 10% போயாச்சு. நம்ம 75% of the goods sale பண்ணிட்டோம். க்ளோசிங் ஸ்டாக் எவ்வளோ இருக்குங்க 15%. அந்த 15% ஓட வேல்யூ எவ்வளோன்னு ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணுறோம். Add expenses, we get value of the closing stock. So what will be the loading in closing stock? Loading or profit in closing stock. ரெண்டு ஸ்டைலில் போடலாம். 28,125 into 25 by 125 னு போடலாம். Or what is the total profit? 37,500 into 15% னு போடலாம். What is the total profit on goods sent? 37,500 into how 15%? Into how 15%? 15% of closing stock. So Either way you can work out, you will get the same answer. Okay, out of the total goods sent, 15% is then closing stock, so 15% profit இருக்கும். Or what is the closing stock oda value? 28,125 into 25 by 125. Both will give the same answer. So closing stock oda invoice price எவ்வளவுங்க? 28,125 into what is the profit margin? 25 by 125 போடுங்க. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா what is the total profit element? All the goods total profit element எவ்வளவுங்க? 37,500 into அதுல எவ்வளவு percent of goods இருக்கு? 15% of goods இருக்குன்னா 15% of profit இருக்கு. Either way you can get this. Any doubt in it? What is the first working we have done? Based on the abnormal loss given, what did we work out? Based on the abnormal loss given, we worked out which one? Goods sent at invoice price. Then we worked out the profit element. Abnormal loss at invoice price is given. We'll add proportionate expense of consignor. Total abnormal loss value we get. Profit in abnormal loss is this one. Or you can do this simply. Or 37,500 into எவ்வளோ percent of goods lost abnormally? 10%. அந்த மாதிரி போட்டாலும் வந்து 37,500 into 10% of the goods sent or lost na, that will also will give you what? 3,750. So goods sent minus abnormal loss and sold out will give us which one? The closing stock. What is the closing stock? 15%. So 1,87,500 into 15% you will get. Otherwise, இப்படியும் work out பண்ணலாம். 1,87,500 into 15% போடலாம். Costல convert பண்ணி போடலாம். But too much of confusion not required. If this is correct, let us proceed with this. Wait பண்ணுங்க. இப்போ கமிஷன் எப்படி ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணுது? கமிஷன் எப்படி ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணுது? Commission, what is given? 10% at 10% at invoice price. 10% at what price? Invoice price. 25% anything over which one? Invoice price. Wait பண்ணுங்க. எவ்வளவு percent of goods sell பண்ணிருக்காங்க? 75% of goods are sold. 75% of goods are sold. Wait பண்ணுங்க. அப்போ what is the invoice price of goods sold? What is invoice price of goods sold? Simple. Total value of goods sent. What is the total value of goods sent? 1,87,500 75%. எவ்வளவு இருக்குங்க? 1,40,625. இதுக்கு எவ்வளவு கமிஷன்? 10% for this. இதுக்கு 10% தரும். வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. What is the extra price? Look at the actual selling price. 75% of the goods are sold for how much? 1,50,000 sell பண்ணிருக்கோம். 1,50,000 minus 1,40,625 for this extra price. For the additional price over the invoice price, எவ்வளவு percentage commission? 20% or 25% commission? 25% commission. Once again repeat. எவ்வளவு percent of goods sell பண்ணிருக்கான்? 75% of goods are sold. Invoice price of the goods sold, total invoice price is 1,87,500. அதுல 75% na 1,40,625. What is the commission at invoice price? 10%. Extra எவ்வளவு price sell பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? Actually 1,40,625 sell பண்ணா போதும். But you sold for how much? 1,50,000. Extra எவ்வளவு sell பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? That into 25%. This into how much percentage? 25%. This will be the total commission. %75% of the goods are sold out. So invoice price of the goods sold out is 1,40,625. On that commission is 10%. For the additional price over the invoice price, we get 25% commission. That's it. We can prepare which account? Consignment account prepare பண்ணலாம். To goods sent on consignment. எவ்வளோ goods sent on consignment invoice price? 180. Then to cash or bank for expenses. Expense எவ்வளோ இருக்குங்க? 15,000. To consignee account. Who's the consignee? What is the name of the consignee? For the selling expenses. என்ன selling expenses? Selling expense என்ன இருக்குங்க? 12,000. Commission. Commission எவ்வளோ இருக்கு? This one. No bad debts in this question. By Mahesh account for the sales. What is the sales done by him? 1,50,000. By abnormal loss, value பண்ணிருக்கோம். Abnormal loss including the expenses. 20,250. By closing stock also we valued. Closing stock value பண்ணிருக்கோம். Closing stock 30,375. Wait பண்ணுங்க. The loading we have to remove in the opposite side. By goods sent on consignment. Profit element. What is the profit element? First working பண்ணிருக்கோம். 37,500. This one. 37,500. That profit element. அப்புறம் to abnormal loss. Abnormal loss or loading எவ்வளோ? 3750. The profit element we remove on the opposite side. To stock reserve, we'll put that as to stock reserve. The profit element how much? 5625. Tally panna profit. Awesome. This is at invoice price. This is at invoice price. And even this abnormal loss and which one? Closing stock, everything at invoice price. That is why we are removing the profit in the opposite sides. For those who are having some confusion, I'll repeat from the beginning. Please pay attention. 10% of the goods 18,750 na full value எவ்வளோ இருக்கும்? 1,87,500. Cost plus 25%, அதாவது 125% கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதோட ப்ராஃபிட் எலிமெண்ட் வந்து பார்த்தா 37,500. Abnormal loss ஓட invoice price 10% of the value of goods sent. அதாவது அந்த 1,87,500 10%. Add expense of consignor, you will get total goods abnormal loss ஓட value வரும். So what is the profit element? Either you can do 18,750 into 25 by 125 or total profit இருக்குல்ல அதில் 10%. Total profit 10%. Okay. Goods sent after abnormal loss and sold out, balance closing stock will be how much? 15%. So 1,87,500 வந்து goods sent na 15% எவ்வளோ? add expenses, you get 30,375. Same way, the profit element in closing stock, how to work out? You take this 28,125 into profit margin, or what is the total profit? 37,500. எவ்வளோ proportion closing stockல இருக்கு? 15%. You get 5,625. Then commission, 75% of goods are sold out. So invoice price of the goods sold is total value of the goods sent into 75%. அதுக்கு 10%. அதுக்கு மேல வர பிரைஸ்க்கு எவ்வளோ percentage? 25%. This is the total commission. Then we prepare the consignment account. In this, we remove the profit in the opposite side. Why are we removing? Because goods are sent at what price? Invoice price. Read the next question after this. Copy this, then read the next question. Closing stock. 1,87,500 அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கோம். அதில் 10% abnormal loss, 75% sold out. Now balance is which one? Closing stock. Add expenses proportionately 15,000 into 15%. ஏன் 15%? Closing stock ஓட proportion எவ்வளோ? 15%. So total value of closing stock, அதில் profit element வந்து 1,87,500ல 15% of stock is included. So you can directly take 37,500 total profit into 15%. Or 28,125 into the profit margin. It will give us 5,625. Shall we? Look at the next question. How many cases are sent? 1000 cases are sent, 1500 rupees each. All these expenses are incurred. 700 cases are sold. 700 cases are sold at what? 2100. Wait, பண்ணுங்க. This is most important. 200 cases are lost in transit. அது வந்து abnormal loss. Next one கொடுத்துருக்கோம். அது வரைக்கும் பார்க்காத ஒன்று. என்னது? Another 50 cases where in transit. அது நாலு லாஸ் எல்லாம் கிடையாது. நார்மல் லாஸ் எல்லாம் கிடையாது. அது ஆன் த ரோட்ல இருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். It is yet to be delivered. We sent. It is yet to be delivered. Clear? During the transit, how many cases are lost? 200 cases are the loss, abnormal loss. Good. What about the remaining 50 cases? That is on the way. It is on the way. We have to value. You have to value them. Simple. Loss in transit எப்படி வேல்யூ பண்ணுவீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி தான் இந்த 50யும் வேல்யூ பண்ணும். Listen. டெலிவரி ஆகல, பட் இட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ ஸ்டாக் இல்லையா? ஸ்டாக் நம்மகிட்ட இருந்தாலும் நம்ம ஸ்டாக் தான், ரோட்ல இருந்தாலும் நம்ம ஸ்டாக் தான், கன்சைனிங் கிட்ட இருந்தாலும் அது நம்ம ஸ்டாக் தான் இல்லையா? ஸோ அப்ப என்ன தப்பா கேட்ட நம்ம இருக்கு அதை பேசிக்கிறோம். குட் சென்ட் எவ்வளோ 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 யூனிட்ஸ்? 1000 cases. அதோட வேல்யூ எவ்வளோங்க? 1500. So 1000 into 1500, 15 lakhs. Add consignors expenses. All expenses. All expenses. Add பண்ண என்ன வருது? 1,50,000. So total value of 1000 cases comes to 16,50,000 less lost in transit. We call it as abnormal loss. எவ்வளோ cases lost in transit? 200 cases lost in transit. எவ்வளோ value வரும்? 16,50,000. If it is for 1000, what is for 200? How much?
3 lakh.
Then less in transit. In transit na, this is called as stock in transit. எவ்வளோ இருக்குங்க? 50 cases. அதுவும் அதே பிரின்சிபல் தான் வேல்யூ பண்ணும். சேம் பிரின்சிபல் இன்டூ 50. அவ்வளோதான். எவ்வளோ வரும்? So balance delivered. What is the balance delivered? 750 cases that delivered. அதோட வேல்யூ எவ்வளோ? இதில் எவ்வளோ sold out? For closing stock is, okay, closing stock you have to add consignees non-selling expenses. In this question, what is non-selling expense of consignee? Clearing charges only. What about warehousing and storage charges, packing charges? No, they are selling expenses. Only 47,500 will be included. So 750 cases order. Total value எவ்வளோ இருக்குங்க? Then total value. Okay. Sold out. எவ்வளோ sold out? 700 nana. Therefore, closing stock is? Closing stock எவ்வளோ கேஸ் இருக்கும்? 50 cases order value எவ்வளோ? 12,85,000. If it is for 750, what is for 50 cases? Was there a commission mentioned? What is a commission? 10%. No bad debts, nothing. So we can prepare consignment. Huh? Consignment account we can prepare. Goods are sent at cost price only. You can take it up. Goods sent on consignment. Normal loss on the way. Goods are going on the way. Goods are yet to reach the other party. That is called as in transit. Of course. Of course. There is a value for the goods. Only 750 cases are delivered. What is the commission? 10%. Bharat account. எவ்வளோ சேல் பண்ணிருக்காங்க? What is the sales done by Bharat? 400 sets are sold for, sorry, 700 sets are sold for then by abnormal loss. What is the abnormal loss? By closing stock, ரெண்டு closing stock இருக்கு. In transit stock, what is in transit stock? 82,500. In the godown. The godown எவ்வளோ இருக்குங்க? 85,000. Commission 10% on the sales. No bad debts, etc. So tally this, we get which one? Profit or loss? Here no loading removal. Why? Goods are sent at what price? Cost price. So in the problem, what is the thing we learned extra? There is a stock in transit. Goods yet to be delivered, we call it as which one? In transit stock. To cash or bank, all expense of consignor. Consignor all expenses and commission we charge. Sales இருக்கு. Abnormal loss in transit. Then closing stock in transit and in the godown we record it and close.